How's it going, everyone? My name is SwingPoynt, and this is the answer vlog for the 12,000 subscriber Q&A that we had about a week ago. Since then, we've gained about another 1,500 subscribers. We're over 13,500 people, and it's unreal how quickly we've been growing, and it's because of the support that you guys have been putting into the channel. Without all the effort that you've been putting into the channel, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be doing this little Q&A here, so thank you guys so much for everything that you put into the channel. But without further ado, let's get into these questions. There were a ton of questions. I'm going to try to answer every question that was there. There were some repeats, so I'm not going to answer the same question twice. What I did to determine which question I would answer out of the ones that duplicated, I went to my comments, I hit newest first, and then I scrolled all the way down. So that way I was looking at the oldest comments first, and pretty much whoever asked it first is the one that I'm going to put in the video here. So let's get started. I'm going to try to go quickly here because there were a ton. So thank you once again. Ken G asks, are you going to play more games with your girlfriend Casey? Yes, we are going to play more games together. And what do you expect of this channel in the future? I don't know what to expect. It's one of those things where we're kind of just figuring it out as we go. The one thing I do expect is that we're going to keep going, and I know that with your support that there is no limits to what this channel can do. Ella J had 3 questions. First one was, who is your favorite superhero? My favorite superhero movies that I can remember as of late are the Iron Man movies, or Batman's pretty high up there too. It's a toss-up. I think I'm leaning towards Iron Man. What is your favorite movie? I don't know if I have a favorite movie, but I like just about everything that Will Smith is in. And what is the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to you? I'm not sure what the most embarrassing thing is that ever happened to me. I don't get embarrassed very easily. In fact, I almost never get embarrassed. I'd say one funny thing that happened that I guess was sort of embarrassing when I was back in maybe 5th grade is I had a Go-Gurt. And I tried tearing the top off, and it wouldn't open. After that, like, you try squeezing it into your mouth, and thing still wasn't open. So in order to get it open, I started squeezing it, right? And it was slowly opening at the top of the Go-Gurt, so I was like, okay. My 5th grade logic was saying it's gonna open all the way up, and once it's open, I'll be able to start enjoying my Go-Gurt. But, of course, what actually happened is when you're sitting there squeezing a loaded Go-Gurt, eventually it hit a breaking point and went poof across the cafeteria that I was in for school, and it landed on a girl's face and hair. And back then, I had no idea how funny of a visual that was, but now, with my adult mind, never mind. Lucarius asks, what is your favorite game that you have previously played through on the channel? It's gonna be Silence, the one that Willow made for me. That was pretty cool. But in terms of a game that was not made for me, man, that's really, really tough. There were so many good games. There's Outlast, there's The Last of Us, there's The Cat Lady, there's The Wolf Among Us, The Walking Dead. I guess if I really, really just have to pick one, I'd say Outlast. But The Walking Dead and The Cat Lady are very, very, very close seconds. You look like a werewolf. I'm a dog! I'm a dog! I'm a big, big puppy! Woo! Jack Collin asks, are you going to do a playthrough of Watch Dogs? Probably not. I feel like I already missed that boat. I would have played it when it was first coming out, and I guess I just never really was that interested in it. And how's life treating you? It's treating me pretty good. Things are going pretty well, so thank you for asking. Spartan3543 asks, what do you like to do when you are not making videos? I like to do a few things. I like to Zumba dance. I like to spend time with Casey. I like to learn more about programs like Illustrator or Photoshop or the editing programs that I use for making videos. But honestly, the majority of my time is either at work or making videos, so I don't have much time for other things. Ashley asks, how long have you and Casey been together? We have been together since about July of 2013. And will you be getting The Last of Us remastered for multiplayer? Yes, I already have, and you've already seen some of the videos. Hey Ryan Let's Play asks, what are your thoughts on declawing cats? I feel like that's up to the owner. I guess it's not really my business what they do with their cat. I guess in reference to Larry, I'm not going to declaw Larry because a couple of reasons. One, I'm not going to put him under anesthetic again. I feel like part of the big reason why he got sick and went into kidney failure was when he went under anesthetic for getting neutered. And 2, I've never grown up with a non-declawed cat. My entire life growing up, the cats were always declawed. So Larry's my first cat that I've had on my own, so I'm gonna have him keep his claws and just see how it is having a cat with claws. Chubbs is declawed, but we found Chubbs declawed. He is the weirdest thing. We found Chubbs. He was fat. He was declawed. He looked like he was somebody else's cat, but he didn't have a collar. He didn't have a microchip, and no one looked for him, and no one said anything at the Humane Society. So we ended up keeping him because no one really seemed interested in him. Loco Games asks, what was your childhood like before you went into high school and middle school? I would say that it sucked. I grew up with an abusive mom, and I didn't have a dad, and I was often at home taking care of my I think I started taking care of my sister when I was about 9 years old, and she was 2. And my mom would be out at the bars all the time, getting drunk frequently, wouldn't show up at home for days. So it was pretty rough, and then when she did come home, she was pretty abusive with her words, and when I was smaller than her, she'd beat me too. So Things got a little deep there, but things were not good when I was a little kid. Nathias Harriman? Is that how you say it? Asks, do you ever see yourself quitting your normal job to do YouTube full time? I would love to do this all day, every day. This is my dream job. If this could be the only thing I do is make videos for you guys, that'd be so cool. But we have to grow quite a bit before we get to that point. Wah Jefferson asks, can you say hi to Larry the cat for me, please? Oh, he was just sleeping, so he's all snuggly right now. Hi, Larry. Someone wanted me to say hi to you. He's like, leave me alone, I'm tired. Luke Buchanan has a bunch of questions. Let's see here. How do you deal with internet trolls? Oh, just ignore them or mess with them. Mess with them. That's what you do. You gotta mess with them back. Have you ever thought of making a series on some old games? I have thought about doing some Age of Empires stuff. Age of Mythology, Age of Empires 2 HD, because those are some of my favorite games as I was growing up. But I just never really did it. Do you think one day you'll become internet famous? I don't care. Have you ever had a near-death experience? I think so. When I was about 6 years old, I was mauled by a dog. My entire left side was chewed up. It was bad. I was rushed to the emergency room and they had to stitch me back up. I had stitches all over my body and I had a bruise that looked like the shape of a dog print on my hip for over a month. It was a big old Akita and I was 6 years old, so the dog was bigger than me. And one day he just snapped and started mauling me. I'm lucky that there were people there to rip him off of me because I probably would have died if that wouldn't have happened. Swing, will you ever play with other YouTubers like Jacksepticeye did? Because that can help get momentum up. Right now, the reason I'm not collabing with anybody is because my internet has been really just inconsistent. And in terms of playing with other YouTubers, that's just something I have to take a greater initiative toward making sure I work my schedule in a way where I can work with other people. Because right now, I've just been so busy trying to keep the channel going and also going to work that I just haven't had time. iGamer, should I start a YouTube channel? You do whatever you want, buddy. If it's something you want to get into, you go right ahead, but there is a lot of work involved in upkeeping a channel. Goofball asks, when will the meetup with King happen? The joke behind that was we were in a live stream and they were saying that if the channel ever reached 1 million subscribers, that King and I would have to meet up and I would Spartan kick King on tape. So keep me to it. If we ever reach 1 million subscribers, I will fly out to where King lives, or I'll have King fly to me, and I will kick him really hard and yell, "This is Sparta." Why don't you tell us about the decorations on the wall behind you? I think I'll do that for a setup video. Some of you guys have been asking for a setup video, so I am going to make sure I talk about those in that video whenever I do that video. But just to give you an idea as to the decorations behind me, most of them are things that people have made for me while I was in college. Well, let me take a look here. A lot of them are big old Larry the Cats. Some of them are drawings that people have made. I have a Slenderman poster up there. And I have some posters that I bought too that I have hanging up. But the majority of what's up there is things that people have made for me, things that people have wrote for me. And I really just appreciated them, so I didn't want to throw them away. So I hung them up on my wall. I hung them up on my wall in college, and I brought them with me when I moved, so now they're up in here. Yaneli Soto asks, where do you see the channel in 2 years, and what is the number of subs that you predict to have by then? My goal for the channel is just to keep it growing and to start making— God, I don't want to get texted right now! Is to keep making it growing and just to turn it into something that's really positive. I feel like it's a very positive atmosphere right now, but I want to make it more of a charity-driven channel, if that makes sense. But my internet needs to work before I can do charity live streams. God. Really badass asks, what software do you use to edit? I use Adobe Premiere Pro for the majority of my editing. I started out in Sony Vegas, so if you're new and you're like, which program should I start with, Sony Vegas or Premiere Pro? A lot of people will tell you that Sony Vegas is easier to start out with, and I would agree with that, but long run, you are really going to hate yourself if you buy Sony Vegas because it is so much worse than Adobe Premiere Pro and it has so many problems. So, Adobe Premiere Pro, do it. Nikolai asks, I want to ask, if you saw gummy bears taking over the world, would you Spartan kick the gummy bears leader and be a hero? Yes. And what if you saw Larry teleporting? I'm pretty sure he already does. Nico asks if I'm excited for the new Batman game if I've ever played any of the Batman Arkham games. I've never really gotten into the Batman games, and I'm not really excited for the new one, probably because I've never gotten into them, but I do like the Batman movies, if that helps. You tamed my monster with your mouth. Milby Elite, or is it 1337? I don't know. Has a few questions, and we're going to try to answer them as quickly as we can. Are you planning on doing a setup tour? Yes. When is Larry's birthday? March 27th, 2014. When is your birthday? June 12th, 1992. What games do you plan on playing? I want to play The Evil Within. I want to play The Walking Dead Episode 5. And I want to play Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4 is really high on my list, and I think I'd really like to play the new Mortal Kombat when that comes comes out as well. What's your job? I'm a business analyst. How old are you? I'm 22. What's the best game you've played so far? Probably the best game is The Last of Us. The game that I think I probably liked the most was probably Outlast. Do you have a goal on your channel? The end goal is to make it so I can do this every day for a living and to move to California so I can work with other YouTubers there. Were you a nerd or bully in high school? I would say I definitely was more on the nerd side. I feel like I was a nerd until about maybe my sophomore year of high school. Then I kind of... Puberty helped me a lot. I grew muscles and things like that, so people kind of stopped treating me like I was a nerd, and then I just kind of was there. I was never a bully. Daniel H. asks, why did you start YouTube, and who is your favorite YouTuber? I started YouTube because I played video games a lot when I was a little kid, and as I was growing up, I noticed I had began to stop, and I didn't want to lose video games, but at the same time, I wasn't getting anything out of it professionally, so I'm like, well, why don't I do something more productive with my time? So I really got into YouTube as a way to kind of give myself an excuse to keep playing video games, because you learn a lot of professional skills with managing a YouTube channel. You learn social media skills, you learn how to edit with Adobe Premiere Pro, you learn a lot with Photoshop, you learn a lot in terms of, like, well, back to the social media, managing social media, and it shows a lot of initiative to people who are interviewing you. And my favorite YouTuber, my favorite YouTube channel, I would say, is Epic Rap Battles of History. I watch everything that they do, and I love all of it. My favorite gaming focused channel, I really like The Game Theory. They have some really, really cool videos. You guys should check them out. And I feel like this is gonna come back to what's your favorite Let's Player, so I'm just gonna answer it now. I would say it's probably, oh god, it's so tough. There's so many good people. So many. I really like Cry Stuff. You guys should know who he is. I don't know how to say his name properly. Cryotic? I don't know if that's how you really say it, but I really like Cry Stuff. I really like his personality that he puts into his videos. I think he's just a hilarious person. Speedy Brofist asked, what kind of awesome kitty is Larry? He's an asshole, that's what he is! But to answer your question, he's your regular domestic short hair cat. I think his color is tabby. I guess that's a color, but he's just a regular kitty. Oh my gosh, I can't even read them all. Imagination Junkie 1412 asked me 22 questions. So I'm going to try to read through them all and see what I can do. Let's go. What nationalities are you? I think I'm 95% German, and then I don't know the rest. Like maybe a little bit of Dutch, and I think that's about it. I don't know the rest of them. I don't know my family history very well. Not including America. What's your favorite country and why? I don't know. I've always wanted to visit Australia, though, just because of the water and all the cool stuff that they have going on there in terms of the wildlife. Do you watch the movies, TV shows? I watch The Walking Dead, and I watch House. Do you read any books or anything else at all? I have read all of the Walking Dead comics, so I'm your guy for The Walking Dead. I've seen all of the show, I've read all the comics, and I've played all of the game. And as for other books I read, I don't read too many storybooks. I normally read books that are focused on trying to make me a better person. So How to Win Friends, Influence People, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Think and Grow Rich, those types of books. Books that try to make me a better person at the end of the day. How did you meet Casey? I met Casey at my job when I was in Stevens Point. It was a summer job at a place called Noel Group. We both started on the same day, and I guess we just started talking slowly but surely. What's your favorite type of tree? One that I don't have to rake leaves for. Christmas trees. Have you ever tried fried calamari? No. What is your favorite memory of sunset, sunrise? I don't know if I really have that many. The only memory that I have really of that is someone told me that once the sun hits the horizon, it takes 1 minute for the sun to completely go underneath the horizon. I don't know if that's true. I've never stared at it, but that's what I heard. What's your favorite funny memory of Casey? My favorite funny memories are whenever she tries to wake up in the morning. You gotta see it. Maybe I'll just get a video camera and get her one day because it's the best thing ever. Do you know or would you ever like to learn another language, and which one? I kinda know Spanish. No, I don't know Spanish. I took Spanish for like 3 years, so I don't really know Spanish that well. But I feel like Spanish would be the one that would be the most useful to me being here in America, because that is definitely the second most popular language. Do you have any strange habits? I chew on my shirt when I'm concentrating. What do you like in a game's storyline? I like character development. And to you, what makes a game awesome? And I think that question can also be answered with character development. And good sound. Sound is a huge part of it too. What do you wish games had? I wish more games had more of a focus on really, really well-designed co-op. There's some games that do it really well, but I really feel like co-op games where you rely on your teammate are the most fun. Do you have a favorite season? Probably spring/summer. I like the warm weather. I have winter 9 months out of the year here in Wisconsin, so I take all the warmth I can get. What is your favorite trait about yourself? I would say my favorite trait about myself would probably be charisma. When I get to know somebody, I'm pretty good at making them smile. What, in your biased opinion, is Casey's best trait? I would say her best trait is probably her selflessness. She will do just about anything for anyone, and a lot of times it ends up getting her in a position where she does more for someone than they probably deserve. Did you ever have a strange teacher in high school? Too many of them. Do you have a ritual or something that you have to do every day? I brush my teeth. Have you ever had a major injury? Aside from getting attacked by that dog, probably not. I mean, my appendix exploded, or almost exploded when I was young, so I had to get that taken out. But in terms of actually getting hurt from the external environment, not really. What is your favorite thing that Larry does? Oh, I love it when he sleeps. Oh god, that's like the best time when he sleeps, because any other time he's just crazy. And I really like it when he messes with Chubbs too. That's pretty fun. If you could marry a YouTuber, who would it be and why? And what flavor of cake? Definitely cheesecake. Rabadash asks, why did you stop playing 1001 Spikes? I didn't mean to, it just kind of happened. Diamond Khan asked, did you ever play Minecraft? I have played Minecraft, finally. I have told you guys I've never played Minecraft, and that has been true until about maybe 2 weeks ago. I have Minecraft now, I bought it. I finally bought Minecraft, and I played it for 5 minutes. Just to see if it worked on my PC, and I haven't touched it since. I don't know how to get into Minecraft. Pocahontas Malone asks a ton of questions too, so let's see if we can answer all of them. Can the next Q&A be Casey asking stuff about you and you asking stuff about Casey? That'd be kind of cool. Do you have a favorite Disney film, and can you sing us a song from it? No. Do you want to build a snowman? I've never seen that movie. Do you have a favorite SpongeBob moment? Lee. What's your fart face look like? Oh god, I'm dizzy now. Oh. Do you have a favorite children's book? Not really. Who's your favorite video game villain? Probably Sin from Final Fantasy X. Have you ever had a video game crush? Ooh, I was pretty young, but I'm pretty sure it might have been Tifa from Final Fantasy VII. And that was before I knew she had huge boobs. Seriously, they're humongous. If you could spend a day with any video game character in their world, who would it be? I feel like Titus. The games that I connected with most when I was a little kid were the Final Fantasy games. Those are the story games that I actually got into. All the other story games, never really got into them too much, but I feel like Titus would have an awesome world in Final Fantasy X. I really like all the water, the tropical feeling, the beaches. That's something I think would be so cool. Have zombie games worn out their welcome? I don't think so. I like them still. Who is your idol? I don't think I have one particular idol. I really feel like there's something that I can learn from each person that's positive. There isn't really one person in this world where I'm like, oh my god, you're amazing. Why do you love cats so much? I think it's really just because I grew up with them. I've always had a cat around me. There wasn't really a single moment that made me go, oh my god, cats. If Larry and Chubbs were people, what would they have to say? Chubbs would say, leave me alone. And Larry would say, why do you pee in a toilet? Or why don't you pee in a box? Do you have any guilty pleasures? Definitely ice cream. What do you plan on doing for 15,000 or 20,000 subscribers? I will let you know when we get there. Clostar asks, would you ever give Larry a brother or sister? He does have Chubbs. Chubbs is his brother right now, and I wanted to get another kitten, but Casey wouldn't let me. What made you interested in horror games? It seems you enjoy getting scared. I would say what got me into horror games was probably my friend Jeff, my coworker Jeff, when I was a CA my junior year in Smith Hall. He played Slenderman, and he got everybody into his room to check it out. He turned all the lights off, and we played Slenderman. It was so creepy the first time you play it. It kind of gets worn out after you get used to Slenderman, but that was probably what really started getting me into it. And then my friend Caitlin really gave me the push to get into YouTube. And it says that you seem to enjoy getting scared. You know, I kind of do. If I'm playing a scary game, I expect to get scared. I expect to scream, and I expect to go, woo! And that's just part of I feel like that's part of the thrill of playing them. So yes, I do kind of enjoy getting scared. KT Johnson, Amnesia or Outlast? Outlast. IKJ Beast, how tall are you? 6 feet-ish. 5'11" and 11/12 if you want to be exact. Biggest accomplishment in your life so far was, says Kat Hancock. I feel like YouTube's kind of a really big one so far. Everything that we've done on this channel, everything we've built on this channel, and how long we've been working together to keep this channel pushing forward is something I'm really proud of. And I'm really proud of you guys for putting all the effort into it as well. It's something that we can all kind of look at together and go, wow, we did this together. So thank you so much for that. How old were you when you started YouTube? I think I was 20. New Nexus Gaming asked, why did you start a YouTube channel? We already answered that. And what advice would you give to YouTube gamers to get them more popular? To be clear, I'm not a very popular YouTuber as it is right now, so I'm probably not the guy you should be getting advice from. But if I were to give any sort of advice, I would say try to always get better, because if you stay as good as you were the day you started, you are not going anywhere, because I guarantee you were bad. There was nobody who straight out the gate is awesome at Let's Playing. It's something that you have to learn and practice. Monica Kaura? I don't know if that's how you say it. What is one thing you have not done that you've really wanted to do, and what's holding you back? I'd love to go on vacation anywhere. I've never gone on vacation out of state. I've always been in Wisconsin. I would love to go to Hawaii or something like that, or Florida, or some other tropical place, Australia. And I would say the biggest reasons why I haven't is time and money. Mobile Cup of Joe asks, how did you find your voice on YouTube? Example, your personality. I feel like my personality is still really developing. It's not something I could even really define as to what it is. I would say just try to be yourself and then let your viewers take it from there, because they will make the jokes for you. Trust me. It goes back to that thing where the viewers help build the channel. The feedback that they give helps turn you into the person you ultimately end up being. And I've been so blessed I have so many positive people that have showed up here. So thank you. And I think this is the final question. The Elements Unleashed asks, what is your favorite console? Xbox, PlayStation, PC, etc. I don't think PC is a console, but I would go PC if I had to pick of that list. I would say my favorite console, which I consider to be Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo brands, would probably right now be the Wii U. I've had so much fun with that thing, and they've done such a good job with it. It's a shame that it hasn't gotten more publicity, but I feel like Nintendo kind of shot themselves in the foot by punishing YouTubers for playing Nintendo games, but they seem to have kind of reversed what they think about YouTubers playing their games. Okay, I think that's all we got time for today, guys. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I tried to answer all the questions. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned a lot about me. That's the reason why we do these vlogs, so I can connect with you guys more. So if you guys could do me a favor, answer the following question down below. What is something that you like about yourself? That's something that I would really appreciate reading, something that I feel is positive, that you can answer and create conversations down below. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. That way you can see more videos as I release them. And other than that, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And I will see you in the next episode? Yeah, episode. Or whatever we do around here. Goodbye! Everyone, my name is SwingPoynt, and I would like to thank you for all the support that you've been putting into this channel. The support that has helped this channel grow to over 12,000 subscribers. It's so unbelievable that we have been able to start from scratch, from 0 people.